Many women in business are brilliant, hardworking, and ambitious, but still struggle with one thing: confidence. Despite their skills and drive, they often find themselves holding back in crucial moments. Why do so many talented women still hesitate in the boardroom, afraid to speak up or own their achievements? Sheryl Sandberg, a powerhouse in modern business and a fierce advocate for women's empowerment, has been at the top of her game as the Chief Operating Officer of Facebook. Yet, even she didn't always feel confident in business. Her rise wasn't about being fearless, it was about learning how to act despite the fear. The real secret to confidence isn't in never feeling afraid, it's in taking action despite it. Sheryl's journey proves that confidence is built over time through persistence, courage, and self-belief. This isn't about overnight success, it's about a continuous, evolving process of growth. Sheryl Sandberg's journey to becoming one of the most influential women in business wasn't without its struggles. Despite her impressive resume, with a Harvard education and a prestigious position at the World Bank, she had all the credentials to succeed. Yet, even at the beginning of her career, she felt a lingering sense of uncertainty. Despite being highly qualified and driven, Sheryl often doubted her own capabilities and questioned whether she truly belonged in the high-powered spaces she was entering. This sense of imposter syndrome followed her into her roles at Google and Facebook. At both companies, despite her qualifications and early successes, she often found herself wrestling with self-doubt. She would second-guess her decisions, worry that her ideas weren't good enough, and feel insecure in meetings filled with senior male colleagues. This struggle to reconcile her own abilities with her doubts became a defining challenge of her career. However, it was during these years of self-questioning that Sheryl came to a pivotal realization. Confidence isn't an innate trait. It's something that can be cultivated with intention and action. She understood that confidence isn't about eradicating fear. It's about choosing to act in spite of it. For Sheryl, the turning point came when she realized that confidence isn't a magical quality some people are born with. It's a skill that develops through perseverance, taking risks, and learning to trust yourself. One of the key lessons Sheryl learned along the way was how often women, in particular, tend to second-guess themselves, overthink situations, and apologize for taking up space. These learned behaviors weren't signs of weakness, but a product of societal conditioning that taught women to shrink themselves, to question their own worth, and to wait for permission before stepping into leadership. Sheryl realized that confidence begins when you challenge these patterns, when you stop apologizing for having a voice, a seat at the table, and the right to speak up. A defining moment of this realization came when Sheryl, despite feeling uncertain, chose to speak up in a major meeting at Google. Surrounded by senior male colleagues, many of whom had far more experience than she did, Sheryl could have stayed quiet, deferred to others, and allowed them to dominate the conversation. Instead, she leaned into the discomfort and shared her ideas. Her decision to speak up, despite the fear of being judged or rejected, was a turning point. It taught her that true growth happens when you push past those internal barriers, when you allow yourself to take risks even when the stakes feel high. From that moment on, Sheryl adopted a new mindset. Confidence isn't about perfection. It's about the courage to try, fail, and keep going. Confidence grows from action, from consistently choosing to lean into discomfort, to take risks, and to show up even when you're unsure of the outcome. For Sheryl, this mindset shift was the foundation for her journey to becoming the leader she is today. The birth of Sheryl Sandberg's Lean In philosophy came from her realization that women often hold themselves back due to fear or societal conditioning. Women may hesitate to speak up, take risks, or step into leadership roles, despite their capabilities. Sheryl's message is clear. Lean in isn't just about showing up physically, it's about mentally stepping into your own potential, even when the room feels intimidating. A defining moment came during a high-stakes meeting at Facebook. Surrounded by senior executives, Sheryl could have stayed silent, letting others dominate the discussion, but instead, she chose to speak up and assert her leadership. This act of courage demonstrated that leadership isn't about waiting for permission. It's about stepping forward and owning your space. Sheryl encourages women to stop apologizing for their ambition and stop assuming others know more or have more to offer. Confidence is built when women stop shrinking and start taking up space. Visibility is key. Confidence grows when you actively seek opportunities to lead rather than waiting in the background. She also embraced failure, knowing that learning from mistakes builds trust and confidence. Failure isn't to be feared, it's an opportunity to grow. Mentorship and support are essential too. Surrounding yourself with people who believe in you helps you build the courage to lean in and grow. Leaning in is about challenging self-doubt, embracing leadership, and having the courage to fail without letting it define you. The secret to building confidence is simpler than most think. It's not about removing fear, but about taking action despite it. Confidence doesn't come from the absence of fear, but from the courage to move forward in spite of it. Sheryl Sandberg's formula for confidence is straightforward. Preparation plus courage plus support. Preparation is key. Confidence grows when you are thoroughly prepared for any situation, knowing your value and being ready to contribute. When you've done the work, you trust yourself more, which fuels your confidence. Courage follows. It's the willingness to take risks, to speak up when it's uncomfortable, and to challenge the status quo. Confidence isn't about never being afraid, it's about choosing to act anyway. And then there's support. Confidence flourishes when you have a network of mentors, allies, and people who cheer you on. Sheryl faced significant criticism after her book Lean In was released. Yet, instead of shrinking back, she leaned into her support system, using their encouragement to keep moving forward despite the backlash. The paradox of confidence is that it doesn't mean you're not afraid. It means you do the things that scare you anyway. Confidence isn't a trait you're born with. It's a habit you build through consistent action and courage. Just like Sheryl, women everywhere can choose to take the risks that will build their confidence. No one is born fully confident, but with time and action, confidence becomes stronger. Sheryl Sandberg's journey teaches us that confidence is not a destination, but a continuous choice. It's built on a foundation of taking risks, leaning in, and finding the courage to keep moving forward no matter the obstacles. Sheryl's story isn't one of innate perfection or never experiencing doubt. It's about choosing to act despite the fear, choosing to step into discomfort, and embracing opportunities to grow. The message is clear. Confidence is built through action, and today you have the power to take that action. Whether it's raising your hand in the next meeting, applying for that promotion, or simply speaking up for yourself in a situation where you normally hold back. Take that bold step forward. Confidence doesn't come from waiting for the right moment, but from creating the moments that will help you grow. But it's not just about your own actions. Confidence is nurtured by the environment around you. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, those who challenge you, support you, and push you to be better. Seek out mentors, allies, and friends who help you see your potential and who encourage you when doubt creeps in. Building confidence requires community, and always remember this: if Sheryl Sandberg, a woman who faced doubts and struggles just like anyone else, could build unshakable confidence, then so can you. The key is recognizing that confidence doesn't look like perfection. It looks like persistence, resilience, and the belief that you have the power to overcome whatever challenges come your way. Closing thought: Confidence is the quiet belief that you can rise, you can succeed, and you can keep going, no matter what. You have everything it takes to achieve greatness.